guys? I'm excited tonight to talk in regards to vegetable tan leather and chrome tan leather. It's probably the one question I get more times than I bet you I've answered it 400 times through my Etsy shop. And so I just kind of want to run through a few things and explain the differences in both. Before I do that, I am trying to grow this thing out, and I got a bunch of stuff around my shop. So I'm going to start doing some giveaways, and I love a good pun. So what my challenge is, if I can get 10 subscribers, I want a subscriber to leave a comment with their best leather pun. I'm going to choose the winner, and I will send them this free of charge. This little leather, it's kind of a cool brown antique leather, little card holder here. So I'm going to set the stage. This one I've had in my mind for forever, and I want to get some t-shirts made. But I'm setting the bar with Patina Turner. I'm gonna leave it at that. Without further ado, here we go. I'm gonna talk about vegetable tan leather and chrome tan leather. So to me, vegetable tan leather is kind of the standard, gold standard, if you will, of leather. It's kind of the most natural that you see. And actually the ingredients to process the leather, the tanning process. So when you hear chrome tanned or you hear vegetable tanned, the tanning process is essentially taking it from a skin and preserving it so it doesn't decay and rot and turn into dead skin. So that's what turns it into leather. So the process for vegetable tan leather is all natural ingredients. It's tree bark and fruits and leaves and branches and all kind of stuff thrown in there to help preserve the leather. The problem is it takes 1 to 2 months for processing this properly. This stuff though will last forever. It's awesome. So it's, if you think about kind of those, I don't know, heritage type pieces or holsters or things they're just around forever. Actually the first wallet I had made for me, this is what actually got me into leatherworking. I had this leather made, or my wife had a wallet made for me, and it was vegetable tan leather, and this thing has more characteristic than anything. So it drew me in, and I love this thing. So it's one of those things, again, this thing will be around forever. So the process is unfortunately very long, and it takes a very skilled person to process this and tan this very well, and so that can make it pretty expensive. And if you can see here, it's pretty rigid. So this has some break-in time to it. Some people like that, some people don't like it. For me, I love that. I love that you have to kind of work with it, wear it, use it, and then over time it just takes on kind of a new life every time you pull it out and look at it. But this is what patina is. This leather starts out very natural, and without any dye or anything like that, it ends up turning and taking on just an awesome character. So again, it's kind of the gold standard. It is a little bit more rigid, but once it starts breaking in, there are limited uses for just because of its rigidity. And you can dye these. Here's a piece that I dyed. This is just a long wallet that I had, but this is just the piece that I dyed, and it comes out great, and really accepts that dye very well. And burnishing, I got a video on burnishing if you want to learn more about that. But burnishing the edges, these edges, if you put 2 pieces of vegetable tan leather together and burnish those together, it becomes one piece. It's beautiful. And so those things that actually start pulling out of it, those tannins and things that start pulling out of it to create that natural color and all. But that is vegetable tan leather. Chrome tan leather. It's also beautiful. Don't mistake that. If you can see, there's some different things here. When I bend this leather, it has some beautiful what's called pull-up. So this is kind of pull-up, and it changes colors however you may fold it, and it's going to look different all the time. But these are much easier to process, and the tanning process only takes a couple days compared to almost 2 months for some of the veg tan. So this is a much softer and supple leather right out of the gate. There's no break-in time. I make a lot of watch straps and watch bands for folks. Some of the leather is veg tan, most of it is chrome tan, because of the wide variety of colors that you can have. So there's endless amounts of colors in chrome tan leather. So it's also the most abundant, and the reason being it only takes a few days to process. So we're gonna do what's the easiest and what's the fastest turnaround. You would think it would be cheaper, but it ain't very cheap. I usually buy relatively small panels to work with because that allows me to buy so much more variety of colors. But it's super supple, very soft. It almost feels like cotton. And again, there's no break-in time at all when it comes to chrome tan leather. Now, two differences. One biodegradable, one non-biodegradable. You may care, you may not. But again, this thing should be around forever, and that doesn't mean this is any slouch either. A nice piece of chrome tan leather is still going to be around for quite some time. It just doesn't quite, and you can feel it when you pick them up. You can tell one is. You just have a little bit more faith in one that it's going to be around for quite some time, and that's going to be the veg tan. Is one better than the other? No, they're just processed differently. And again, one's quicker. This one takes a little bit longer. Honestly, a nice piece of they both cost a lot of money. So you can get a $200, $350 side of either of them, and that wouldn't be unreasonable. Things like when you're choosing a project, and I'm gonna do a video on this just to explain, how to choose the right types for your projects. In what I do, a lot of watch bands again, or wallets and belts. I kind of have a mix of everything. A wallet I prefer to make in vegetable tan. I also do some in chrome tan, and Horween leather makes a beautiful chrome tan, and that makes such a nice end product. So you can't really go wrong with either. One thing I will show you, which, let's see if this works out. If I hold them up, you see this one's a little bit more rigid, and this thing just kind of droops down, and that just speaks to the characteristics of the two. For belts, again, I prefer. And again, it's personal preference for the most part, but a nice, thick, chunky, hardy piece of vegetable tan, to me, I'd prefer to spend some time in that break-in process and really getting it to form and taking on those different characteristics. So for me, that's it. Funny enough, my personal belt is actually a chrome tan piece of Horween, and it does what it's supposed to do. So it's no slouch by any means. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. There's just a couple subtle differences in the two. You can't really go wrong. So there's no real winner or loser, or one's inferior, one's superior. The process is a little bit different, and one, again, it's going to be personal preference based on whatever the project may be. So before I go, please subscribe, get those nominations in. Again, I'm setting the tone with Patina Turner. I don't know if it can be taken off the top, but I'm giving away this little card holder here to my #1 pick. So I enjoy a good laugh. So bring those leather puns my way, and let's see what we come up with. Appreciate you stopping by.